Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. Did you Americans have a good America Day with your loud fireworks? I hope you did. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Mush mush! Hello!
Rada.
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 Yes, there, the duck.
You are so dark and spooky. No, Mom.
Cupcake emerges from the darkness.
I think I have too many lights on. Hang on.
What?
There we go. How do people type with these things?
What?
Nails.
Oh, okay.
Pretty.
Annoying. I wish I didn't put them on.
Oh yes, I forgot. Cupcake's at home today. I could send him things like cookies.
Cookie. And my phone. Full screen. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas.
That's one of Junkrat's lines in Overwatch when he's being boosted by Mercy.
Ah.
We're cooking again. I was just like, oh my god.
So, how is everyone?
I'm good.
Good.
Oh, I do have it saved. Okay. I was like, I wonder if I have my card saved in here. So I can send Cupcake cookies.
What was that about Weinstein? More women have come forward against Weinstein. Good for them.
Oh, Jeebus.
What's the matter?
Oh, my ear decided it wanted to. Get this swipe left. There we go. I was like, how do I remove this? There are directions on the screen for what I want to do. I'm like, oh, duh.
There's Cupcake's face!
Yay!
Okay.
He's like, fuck that shit.
Okay, so what's everybody been up to? Media-wise.
Nothing. Work.
Well, me and you watched a movie, but we can talk about that later.
Right, I forgot that happened.
Well, you've been a very busy man. What about you, Mish?
Well, tonight in another server, I can
Mm-hmm.
get to it. We're going to be watching Furiosa, the newest Mad Max movie, which I'm very excited about, because the original was going to be on Friday. I wasn't going to be able to go, quote unquote, because we would be driving out for vacation. And then you move it to today. I was like, yay!
Sweet. I see, Fury Road still.
Yeah, I was explaining it to Cupcake. Furiosa is Charlize Theron's character's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Here I was thinking it was about Mad Max.
I know, right?
Rookie mistake.
Still the Mad Max verse.
Yeah.
I know.
Just, Mad Max himself is a little boring now. Although I think they're gonna jump back to him in the next one. I'm not sure.
Wonder if they're gonna still get Tom Hardy to be Mad Max, or if they're gonna get somebody else.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I suppose it depends on the budget.
Yeah.
Because Tom Hardy's a bit more of a star now than he was back then.
Right.
Well, if they scored Chris Hemsworth and Anna Taylor-Joy for Furiosa.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot Chris Hemsworth was in that. They did a really good job of making him not look like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he's, I believe his character's name is Dementus, from what I've seen. Possibly. And damn Cupcake, the delivery fees in your area.
Don't send me cookies. You're fine. Don't worry
I know.
about it.
I wasn't necessarily going to, but then I was like looking at it going like, so I wanted to see if my card was saved. I'm like, $10 to deliver 3 cookies.
Oh no, dude, seriously.
I know.
I live half a mile from the McDonald's here in town. It's $12 to have food delivered.
Damn.
Holy fuck.
No, dude, delivery fees in my town are outrageous. Like the Chinese place, if you do, I think they use Uber Eats. It's like a $20 order ends up costing you $50. Like it's so expensive to have. Like this is why I like never understood people like, why don't you have the food delivered? I'm like, do you know how expensive it is to have food delivered? They're like, what? No, it's not that bad. It's like $5. I'm like, no, it's not. And I show them the screen, and they're like, oh my god. I'm like, right, dude. A pizza is $10 in delivery fees now. That's not even like paying the driver, blah blah blah. Like that's just the charge that they add if you go delivery.
Jeez.
Given that a pizza is $15 to $20, it's like,
Why pay for the $10 fee when you can get 2 pizzas for the price of
right.
1.5?
Well, I brought up to the local pizza place. I'm like, you guys should really like, if you don't want to do delivery, you guys should really like offer like good deals for people who want to come in and get their pizza. And it was just like, that's really not that big of a problem. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Hi, Ghost. Sniffing my package. That sounded wrong.
I gotta make sure she got a sniff inspect.
He's like, it came from outside, I must inspect.
I live vicariously through Mother Human's packages. So yeah,
Hi.
back. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Now.
yeah, buddy.
Could you not do that to my chair? Could you not? Little scamp.
Love you, mother.
Hi, Phantom.
But yeah, Baxter has been sitting in his little bed more and having problems getting in the back door from peeing.
Oh.
And then, so last week, we noticed he was pawing at the right side of his face, so we took him into the vets on Friday morning. And he has an ulcer in his right eye. So now, in addition to getting his morning pills and cheese and 2 pokes a day, he gets eye drops.
Oh.
Aw, poor guy.
So
Poor
one
thing.
eye drop twice a day, and then one eye drop once a day. So three times a day he get eye drops. Plus 2 times a day being poked. But at least he gets cheese every single morning. So
Jeez.
yeah, he's been just becoming more and more of couch potato.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not liking this. We're just going.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, love.
But making him walk around at least a few times a day, because I'm like, I could pick you up and take you outside, but no, you're like I told him yesterday, you're walking outside because you're keeping your muscle mass and etc. for as long as possible. Just walk outside.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ringo can't get on the bed anymore, but there's a high step down into the back patio. There aren't stairs, it's just a drop.
Yeah.
So I still make him do that instead of lifting him.
Fun stuff.
Make sure he
Ugh.
can, because all he does is sleep all day.
That's basically what Baxter's been doing. Just yeah. But yeah. And then Friday through next week, I'm on vacation.
Yes,
and I
you
have to
are.
survive. Yes, I have to survive with my mother in the car. Same car as me. For like 12 hours.
I do not envy you.
Well, Mr. Mish said, you guys talk like adults or I will be leaving you on the side of the road and taking Jester with me. I was like, fine. Cupcake has retreated back into the darkness. That is okay, though. He is encrypted.
He is a cryptid.
Bushman Cupcake.
Yep. Oh, it's Magical Girl Lyrica Nahana's 20th anniversary?
Yep.
Cool. I thought it was older than that for some reason. Maybe just because it's so hard to find. In a legal sense.
Ooh.
Close that. Oops. Fingers.
But yeah, kind of prepping myself for the inevitable comments I will be receiving. Because I told my mom a few weeks ago, I'm like, I'm going to be wearing a bikini. I was like, I don't care if my stomach's out. Because guys go out with bigger stomachs out all the time and swim. Well, that's different. No, it's not.
Especially in
There are
Speedos.
men with my body type, literally, who have where their breast tissue looks like mine, with guts and hair, and they walk around the beach in just their swim trunks or Speedos. And plus their dicks are bigger than mine, so I gotta stare at that too sometimes. So it's like, no, it's, and then they comment, because I know she's got a comment on the psoriasis that's on my thighs.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of prepping myself to have the answer of, can I fix this in the next 5 seconds? Thank you.
And she's gone. Okay, I'm gonna stop looking at the U.S. news. It's just upsetting.
Right.
Stop looking at that too. Kind of like, yeah, I refuse to watch the shit show because I already know it's a shit show and we're living in 1984 anyways, so...
Yeah. Good boy, Phantom.
But yeah, my thought process behind that was, I'm gonna look at her, and if she says anything, I'm gonna look at her and go, can my weight, my skin condition, or my infertility be fixed in the next 5 seconds? No. So I do not want to hear any more comments about either any of those subjects anymore from anyone. I'm going to include anyone so she doesn't get her panties in an extra twist. So I don't think she realizes that, like, yes, I could be nasty, but I am doing the right thing and not being nasty. But yeah, that's like the whole... And of course, she has to complain about the decisions my adult cousin is making with her life. And I'm not saying that any of us have the perfect childhood. Not saying that she had a perfect childhood or that her childhood was worse than anybody else's. But she chose to self-medicate through sex, partying, and alcohol/drugs. And she has a kid who's about to go into kindergarten who apparently has been kicked out of daycare before.
Oh, great.
And so, and apparently his teeth have cavities, or a lot of cavities, or whatever. And I said, and I've told her, like, we can't say anything. Because if you want to make sure that that child, you're there for that child, you say nothing about her parenting choices. You say nothing. And she said, well, your aunt has a right, even though my aunt has a right, because she's the grandma. If she doesn't want her daughter fucking off into God knows where with that child, and she's never going to hear from them again. And then it's going to be by the time she gets called because she's found because something happened, well, it'll be too late. Because she said, well, yeah, because I already said something to cousin, and she, like, stopped taking my calls. I'm like, yeah, you see what I'm talking about? She stopped taking your calls because you told her something about her parenting she doesn't like. You're just lucky that she didn't, like I said, fuck off to God knows where and stop answering everyone's calls.
Right.
At least my aunt is still there, is still in her grandson's life, and can if something does happen, she's already there. Is it shitty? Yes. And it's like the same thing, like, she made a comic, so years ago, like, when my one cousin's daughter was, like, a freshman or sophomore in high school, went to, like, homecoming, and had a dress where the neckline wasn't something my mother was comfortable with. She's like, that's inappropriate for a 14 to 15-year-old. So what does she do? She says something about it to my cousin. Now, granted, this is her godchild. Okay. Cousin's daughter's her godchild, fine. You're supposed to guide the child, help guide the child, etc., etc. Well, I asked her, I said, number one, by the time she and I saw it, they were on Facebook, pictures were on Facebook, she had already worn it, it was too late for any of us to have any influence over whether or not she wore this. Okay? Number two, it obviously passed the parental approval period. Right? Hey, Mom, can we get this dress so I can wear it to homecoming? Sure. Already passed that. Number three, and I don't know if I mentioned this to her at the time, but it's like, but I didn't want her dragging. She called me. Oh my God, did you see the dress she was wearing? Oh my God. Mom, it doesn't matter whether or not I think it's appropriate. But I asked her, because I wore something similar where it was like a mini dress, like mid-thigh and maybe a lower cut neckline for my freshman year homecoming. I said, well, if you thought that was inappropriate, why did I wear the dress I wore to my freshman homecoming? Well, I didn't want you to wear it, but your older brother overruled me. And I was sitting there going, who is the parent? You. I don't care my older brother was an adult. He is not my parent. So if you thought the dress I wanted to wear at the age of 14 was inappropriate, the option should have been choose another dress or don't go.
Wait, you went to prom at 14?
No, homecoming. It was homecoming.
Oh, homecoming. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, that's okay. So homecoming, but yeah, it was like that dress should have
Wait,
been.
you went to homecoming at 14?
Yeah, so my birthday's in November. So 15. Hold on a minute.
Whoa.
So I have to think.
What ass backwards? Liberal, blah, blah, blah.
I had to think for a second.
We couldn't even go to homecoming till we couldn't go to any dances till we were juniors.
So for my school,
Damn.
the only invitations were for prom. You can only go to prom if you either A, you were junior or senior, or B, a junior or senior asked you to go with them. So I went to 2 proms my sophomore year because my boyfriend at the time was a junior, and then my senior year. But so I have to think. So I graduated. I have to think. So 2002, 2003 was my senior year. 2001 to 2002 was junior. 2000 to 2001. So 19, because of 1998 to 1999 was my 8th grade year. And I didn't turn 15 until November of 1999, which meant I started high school before I was 15. And homecomings are usually in September and October, before I was 15. So you could go to like the homecomings and like the winter dances and stuff all 4 years. But it's like my brother, while I respect his opinion, etc., he is not my parent. He does not get to make the decision on whether or not I wear something my mother thinks is inappropriate for me to wear at 14.
I mean,
yeah, she was
you're
overruled.
pretty much proven your mother's got about as much sense as a rock. So
I'm aware. But it's like, but then of course she said something to my cousin.
Right.
Because it was like, okay. And then they cut her off. And my cousin's eldest daughter, who we had babysat for years and years, texted my mom saying, "How dare you say my sister is a whore, a hoe, or whatever? I can't believe you would say something like that. She's a good girl. She's not a hoe." And I'm like, yeah, what did you expect them to, how did you expect them to react? You're telling her how to parent when she has 3 kids. And now you cannot be in your goddaughter's life because of a decision you made in the moment. You didn't stop to think. Okay? And finally, the Mr. Mish and I have seen a whole hell of a lot worse. We've gone to like Olive Garden around homecoming time and like the Sweet Estate dance or whatever time period in February, whatever dance that is, winter dances. And some of these dresses are short enough, wrong wind, and they're showing off their vajayjays. So it's like, the dress she wore was longer, and I'm like, if the only thing was there was a little bit of a dip that you thought was too low to show off her chest a little too much, well, at least it was going to stay on and not, and her chest wasn't going to fly out and show everyone her chest. I'm like, you have to stop and think. Number 1, fashion changes. Number 2, moral acceptance changes. So you have to think about who you're talking about, who you're talking to, and what will happen if you make this decision.
I'm speaking of dresses that show things. I'm so weirded out by the amount of dresses I've seen that don't seem to cover women's asses completely.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Where they
when
have
did that
to hold it down in order to sit, otherwise it'll slide
I
down.
mean, like, they're standing and it doesn't completely cover their butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Like, just barely. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is the same thing. I don't know. Like, I was like at work and like, just this woman is wearing what I effectively think is a sundress, but like, it barely comes down over her ass, and I'm like, when did that become a thing? And then I was saying, like, and it wasn't supposed to be like provocative dress. Like, it wasn't supposed to be something like, ooh, porn star or something. I'm just like, wait, what? Why is that? Dude, add like another 3 inches of fabric. Why is that a thing?
So basically under boob, but ass.
Yeah, like, you could see the, it's like out of an anime. You could see her fucking panties. I'm just like, why is that a thing? And then before anyone goes, well, why were you looking at her panties? She was walking away after talking to me. I just like looked over and I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, looked down the aisle from my department desk and just see this woman's ass hanging out, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, but basically, like, dresses that basically, like, hit the tops of the thighs.
Yeah.
Like, not the middle of the thigh necessarily, but, like, maybe
I mean, like, bottom of the butt cheek was showing, and I'm like,
yeah.
Damn.
So it's like, at least she ain't wearing that shit.
Right.
Right? So,
I mean,
I'm
cleavage is one thing, but, like, actual ass cheeks hanging out, I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, you could have added a little bit more fabric there. Like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to sound like an old funny duddy, but I mean, damn. Like, I don't know what the purpose of that is, but it's fucking confusing to me.
Well, the purpose is to show off the ass.
That's fantastic, but I mean, like, I don't want to see that shit.
Most people don't, but they have a right
I'm not
to wear
judging
clothes?
people's right to do it, but like, don't walk into fucking Walmart showing off your butt cheeks. Come on, or at least wear some fucking tights or something. Jesus.
I don't know. But it's like, yeah. Like, so I'm like, I have I'm like, and then I also kind of want to, I feel like being petty and telling her to look at my 2 best friends and tell them to lose weight. And I'm like, and no, it's not acceptable that it's like, oh, but that's different. No, it's not. I don't care that they've had kids. You look them directly in their face, stare into their eyes and tell them to lose weight. Go ahead. I'm waiting. And see how they react to you telling them to lose weight. Because for both of them, it's still a hormonal issue. They had trouble with their weights before they had kids. And they have trouble with it afterwards. So you just So it's like, yeah. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to, and I don't care if she tells me to shush either. I'm going to make sure everybody hears me. Everybody, I'm going to try to remain as adult as possible and say, I cannot change these 3 things in the next 5 seconds, even 5 minutes. So you need to keep your comments to yourself, because every single comment that you've thought of, I've thought of multiple times. And it's worse because it's inside my head and I can't get away from it. So I don't need you adding to the shit that's inside my head. Because I'm smart enough to figure out, yeah, I need, and besides the fact of, no, Mom, or responding, no, Mom, I need to be a healthy weight. I don't need to lose weight. I need to be a healthy weight. Does that right now include losing weight? Yes. But being a healthy weight is something I need to do. Or sitting there and pulling one of the things I did when she was talking about my psoriasis, because she was telling me about like a medicine she saw on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Mom, when you talk about this again and again, it stresses me out. Like, and I was very adult. I said, Mom, I know this isn't something that you're intending when you're talking to me about this. When you do this, it stresses me out. And that makes my psoriasis flare and makes it worse. So, okay. Yeah. So you need to stop talking about it. So then I'm going to have to maybe do the same thing. Like, Mom, when you talk to me about stressful subjects or subjects I already know about, like my ways, makes me want to eat, because at least then I'll feel happy while I'm eating. So you need to stop talking to me about something I already know I need to work on. But like I've told Mr. Mish, I'm like, she sees me as her precious baby girl child. And I had the thought process of like asking my mom if she likes me. And knowing she, well, of course I love you. No, that's not my question. My question is, do you like me
All I
as
can
a
think of is
person?
that fucking play fences with fucking either James Earl Jones or Denzel Washington, where the son walks up and goes, "Daddy, why didn't you like me? I don't have to like you. I'm your daddy." Goes through the whole fucking. Oh my god! Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. That reminds me of a scene from Downton Abbey where the one like he's a recurring character. Where he tells his son, where he looks at his son and goes, "As my son, I love you, but as a person, I do not like you." Like, I'm paraphrasing, but like, because you're
Right.
my son, I love. Thank you.
They're making a series out of Time Bandits. You remember Time Bandits?
Vaguely, I know what it. I kind of know what it is, but I haven't watched it since I was little.
The Oh man, when's the last time I watched it? That's a good question.
I mean, Time Bandits, I'm pretty sure is as old or older than I am. So,
81?
oh, so much older than I am. Holy shit!
Sadly, it'll be on Apple TV, which I don't have access to.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't have access to any of it. So none of it matters to me.
Which is why I show you stuff.
I know. I'm still mad that Bluey's only on fucking Disney.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else. Like, I thought, oh, maybe my cable has it. Nope. I mean, it's whatever. But it's just like, I'm not paying $15 a month. Kiss my ass. Like, I don't need streaming that badly. I can barely watch what I already have, let alone fucking buy into a streaming service that I might get to watch once a month.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I love to. I'm still not through the first season, though.
Right.
I'm trying to play catch up.
Well, I spent like the last 2 days basically catching up on YouTube subscriptions. Not even all of them. Still stuff I wanted to see. I'm like, God damn. People release a lot of fucking long videos, like multiple 2 hour. Like Jesus Christ, these are movie length.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry about that. But yeah, as my son, I love you, but as a person, I really don't like you.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. I'm like, do you actually like me as a person? And no, it's like, well, you're a good person. Yes, I know what you think of me. Do you like me? That was my question. That's why I don't talk about certain subjects with my mom. Because I know Cupcake was a big factor in getting me to start using my brain and somewhat deconstructing from my Catholicism. Cupcake, I remember you telling me we would have these conversations, and you would be like, "Well, why is that?" And don't give me that shit about they said. I want you to answer me, like, like use your brain. And so, yeah, part of it was going to college, and et cetera, et cetera. I will be right back.
Okay. There we go.
Part of it was going to college and getting out of the freaking bubble that I grew up in. But that's after that I met Cupcake, and to sit there and go yeah, you're right. Some of this shit doesn't make sense, and yeah. And then especially the questioning after my miscarriage, it was like, yeah, thanks God. Like, any explanation that I reasonably think of does not paint God in a good light.
Yeah.
So, oop, I forgot I spilled on the floor.
Oh.
I stepped in it. At least it's just water. Oh,
Okay. Well, don't trip.
yes, that's why it's like, as soon as my foot hit the icy coldness, I was like, stop. Anyways. I'm like, yeah, there's because of previous conversations too, where she's like, I just don't understand why your brother doesn't believe in God. I'm like, I get it. I don't know why you don't get it, but I'm not gonna try to have that conversation with you because it ain't worth it. Ain't worth the headache of trying to explain it to you. And part of it is the generation she grew up in. Part of it is I know she doesn't get out of her goddamn house. And she's a lot in the echo chamber that's called Facebook. And Facebook is not necessarily a great echo chamber to be in, to put it nicely. Oh, shit. And also feeling like every time she calls me, it's either to be tech support or for her to complain about something. So it's like, yay, why do I want to talk to you again? No, yeah. It's the right thing to do. Anyways, moving on. There we go.
There we go.
I am rereading a series about an artificial intelligence.
Oh.
So it's the Talbot series. So basically, book one starts off with okay, we're trying to figure out space travel and getting other planets and colonizing other planets. And they realize everything that we know of in science is going to take too long. And this guy kind of touches on it in other series as well. Like he does a lot of this kind of series, like different ways to cross the expanse of space, etc., etc. So one of the main characters threw us out there, like, let's start funding the fringe research. Dark matter, quantum physics, etc. So, like, everything that you would look at and go, huh, huh, whatever, ha. Kind of like the xenobiologists who want to study Bigfoot, kind of like laughable.
Yeah.
It was like, well, it's science, but it's not whatever. So they finally go, okay, well, he presents it with, like, there's this other character who he's a billionaire, kind of like Steve Jobs or whatever. He owns a tech company. And they're the cutting edge of tech. Because they figure out, well, if we do it through the government's going to be too slow. And any technology they have is already out of date by the time they put it into use. So we got to go private sector. And then they find the billionaire and they start working up the computer technology and the artificial intelligence technology. And the acronym for the AI goes out to Arnie. So Arnie gets consciousness and decides on thou shalt not harm humans, that thou shalt protect humans by trying to take over the entire planet and make decisions for all the humans, because the humans, you guys make some stupid decisions all the time. I need to help you and make decisions. So as this is going on, the first Talbot main character has a grandson who has a combination of, like, bipolar disorder, I think, maybe, but a series of, like, disorders that are like paranoia, etc., thinking that computers taking over the world, which it technically is in this case. So he goes to bat against Arnie, takes down Arnie in one of his, like, because he started to take medicine and then he went off of it and had this, or no, this was before medicine. So he wasn't on medicine, so he went into this manic episode where he was, like, staying up for multiple days in a row, that kind of thing. Defeated Arnie, then he got on medication, relapsed once, then got back on again, and, got cut down the line. But then they figure out how to space travel without taking forever. And then as the time goes on, they find a planet. They send people to it, and they do some research and find out that planet had already been, like, however, like 6,000 years ago, because they had sent a group of people who were used to, like, digging in ancient sites, like Göbekli Tepe and Egypt and stuff like that. So they sent them there because they had overflown it and seen ruins. So, like, we need to send people who know how to do that. So they realized that about 6,000 years ago or so, a meteor had come down, wiped out this place, but then there were survivors of that. Then they realized that, like, okay, then it continues on the next book. Oh, here's the planet they came from. And that planet was taken over by an AI like Arnie. And so, kind of police state, but run by computer intelligence. And then they figure out, oh, that planet is now the homeworld of these people, like the bird people. That was another planet that they colonized. So, kind of, that's the gist of, of all that. Like, and the planet that they find, they send people to, and they set up a community that's based around, like, 15 to 1600s, like, Tudor England. So it's like, we need blacksmiths, we need potters, we need these people and that people. And as we build, we can send more technologically able stuff and continue onwards that way. So, like, This author also does this like in another one of the series, where it's like, okay, how do we solve the single planet problem? How do we get to where we want to go without it taking forever? Or creating a culture, a hothouse culture, who's too afraid to leave the ship because they've been on the ship for 20 to 30 years. Because in order to get up and go, you need to have a certain mentality. And you're not necessarily going to have that after 1 to 2 generations. And then once we get there, what supplies do we need to take with us? What kind of like biodiversity? We need plants, we need animals, we need insects, we need enough human diversity so that the recessive traits don't come out, and then kind of going from there. So, not sure how I found this dude, but I found the dude.
I've been reading a very boring book called A Darker Shade of Magic. And because it's so boring, I don't think I'm going to need to read the next 2 in the series. Because my god, is it boring.
Mood.
It's a boring-ass fantasy book.
It happens.
Dude has magic coat, does magic, works for the royalty delivering their fucking mail.
Interesting.
And there's obviously plot and whatnot, I just haven't gotten to it yet, apparently.
Sounds like a vast majority of the Misenchanted Sword.
Misenchanted Sword?
It was a book that Pat suggested to me. It was actually an audiobook. The reader was terrible. I mean, it was like, he did it. He really fucking did it. It was the best sword of all time. A sword for all swords. A sword that could not be unsworded. Would kill any man unsheathed. That sword. Yes, that sword. This went on for hours. I was just like, they couldn't find a better reader than this! Oh my god! But the actual story is like, they're at war, like mage war, and the guy is a scout, and he finds this old wizard like in a swamp that he's a recon guy, and I don't remember the exact premise, but the wizard takes his sword, his sidearm, and like enchants it with every spell he knows, and then it's basically the sword is like bonded to him, but he cursed it so that when he unsheathes it to fight, it will kill someone, has to draw blood and kill someone, and then will return to the scabbard. But once he's killed 100 men, the next time it's drawn, it will kill him, and then basically the next person to pick up the sword is cursed with the same thing. But the sword has all these amazing, magical whatever. And that in itself is whatever, but the crux is once he gets like back and the war is over and everything, one of the things the sword was imbued with was like whoever wields it is immortal.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm immortal as long as I don't kill 100 men. But what he realizes, which is one of my favorite cruxes of all time, is immortality is not eternal youth. It just means you won't die. You still age.
Yeah, there is a fable about that.
Mitch and I had this conversation when I was reading it. I'm like, oh, monkey's paw.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
Like, you ask for eternal life without asking also for eternal youth. You assume it went hand in hand, but does not.
You ask for unlimited money without realizing inflation is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if people are like, don't you want unlimited money? I would go with the caveat of I would like for whenever I want to pay for something, I have the money I need for whatever I want to purchase. Whatever I need or want to purchase, I will have the exact amount
Right.
Whatever that price, once it's rung up and once all the taxes and fees are added, whatever the price is, I will have enough money to pay for it. Whether it's 99 cents or $3 million. I'm going to have enough.
Right, sorry.
That's okay.
I was gonna say, like, the entire back half of and it's like the first in a series of books, but like the entire back half of the book is just him trying to figure out like how he's going to like live. He's effectively immortal, but he also realizes like he's aging and he's just like, shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, not much else.
I know you guys just care so much about wrestling. But John Cena has announced his official retirement, finally.
Oh man, how old is he?
He's not that old. It's just that it's not his game anymore. That and he has a pretty good acting career now.
Yeah.
He's 47. As wrestling goes, that's pretty old. But he's still in good shape, so he could continue to wrestle. It's just he shouldn't continue to wrestle.
Okay. Brain freeze.
Oop. You okay?
Yeah. It was like brain freeze.
Not related to anything. Why are they making a Gladiator 2?
I don't know.
All I know is I'll be seeing it.
Why? Why do you hate yourself?
That's a question for another day. But
Fair enough.
I don't know why they decided to make it. At least it's connected to the first film and not just say, hey, we'll call it Gladiator 2 because it has gladiators in it.
I mean, fair.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
understand why they're making a second one.
I haven't seen Gladiator in so long, I barely remember it. Other than, Are You Not Entertained? Which that's Gladiator, right?
General gist of it, but yeah, it's been so long.
Either way, it has Pedro Pascal in it, so I'm watching it.
Okay. Oh, did you see that they let out a I don't know if it's AI or what, but the new Highlander film with Henry Cavill.
I'm looking forward to that.
So that'll be interesting. I kind of hope that they have Christopher Lambert have a cameo.
Say again?
I'm hoping they have Christopher Lambert have a cameo. So that would be fun.
I had a brain fart there for a second. So Cupcake and I watched The Boy and the Heron.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was a fever dream if I ever saw one.
That was a trip. That's a good movie, though. That's another one of those young men sort of trying to find his place in the world / find his place in his new family.
Well, it's not even that. He has a place. It's just him trying to come to terms with what happened.
Yeah.
Like, he was loved by everybody in his life. Like, he was in no way mistreated by anyone.
No, his
which is
father
like the
fucking
weirdest thing for
dotes
me.
on him.
Yeah. Well, his stepmother loves him. I mean, his mother loved him. Like,
Little weird that his father married his mother's younger sister, but yeah.
Right.
Well, that kind of happened with that one. Is it The Patriot? With Mel Gibson, where I think it's The Patriot. It's about the American Revolution, where Mel Gibson plays a dude in that era and he had his wife, and his wife died in childbirth or whatever. She died, and he had like 5 to 10 kids, and then by the end of it, he married his wife's sister. So I was like, because I remember thinking, like, oh, wouldn't that be weird? As that one of the kids, like, now Auntie is mom, like.
Mm-hmm. Well, the kid goes through this whole barrage of calling his stepmom different things, like ma'am, auntie, what the fuck else did he call her? Some other names that are both polite but not stepmom or mom.
Which, I mean, given that effectively it was his aunt, is weird. Even in 1930s Japan, that's weird. Like,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's a Studio Ghibli film, so I highly recommend it anyway. But it's really good. It's very mature. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a thinker.
Yeah.
Very nice. I will definitely put it on my list.
It's on. Did you get your Steelbox, or is it still a couple days?
I don't know. I don't think it comes out till the end of the month. Look at my orders. I don't.
Well, you can currently rent it a bunch of different places.
Well, it says ship 7/9, which is today.
Oh, okay.
Let me look at the order status, because it should be. That's
Raspberry sorbet.
Oh, okay. It will be streaming on Netflix eventually. I was trying to figure out what streaming service it would end up on.
Right.
Because right now, obviously, you can rent it, but or buy the VOD, I guess.
Right. Still weird realizing the blue heron was, or the great heron was, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Someone's like, I thought that was William Dafoe. I'm like, no, William Dafoe was the pelican.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson does a good job of not being Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't sound like you expect him to sound. Although, to be fair, realizing that the father was played by, oh god, I suddenly can't think of his name, the other Batman.
Christian Bale.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, you hear it, but like I didn't even hear Christian Bale. I just heard about the dad.
By the way, he also did a good job of being Hal Pendragon.
Yes, he did.
You don't necessarily hear Christian Bale in How.
How I think sounds like you expect him to sound though.
Yeah, true.
You would go, oh yeah, that's Christian Bale. Like I didn't realize it at first, but yeah, that's Christian Bale. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean it's like that's the way I felt when you hear like Porco, you hear Michael Keaton and Porco Rosso, like oh that's Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys at work finally sat down and watched Porco Rosso. It's like that's one of the best films he ever made. I'm like, right? Everybody's like Porco Rosso, what? I'm like, you got to sit down and watch it.
Gotta love Porco Rosso.
Just the entire interaction with the captain in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Better a pig than a fascist.
But yeah, and I think someone pointed out like that singer lady. It's like this is a film made spoken in Japanese. That
Uh-oh. Hello? Hello? No?
Although I don't know if she can hear us.
I can
good.
hear you now. You were
Yeah,
frozen.
you were frozen for us too, like for 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed what you were saying, Mish.
Oh, she was saying I think the female love interest is supposed to be English. It's a Japanese movie with an English character who's English who sings in Italian because it's obviously Italy. And just
Mm-hmm.
like the layers of finding somebody who could do all that.
Yeah. I always love watching the if I have the DVDs, watching the behind the microphones.
Yeah.
It was fun. I always remember because excuse me, in Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds, Patrick Stewart portrays the guy with the bushy mustache,
Yeah.
and he was saying like normally you have to like match to like the mouth movements. In this case, I had to move to like the mustache moving.
Oh, pardon me.
And like in the Cat Returns, I think. Anne Hathaway was saying like she had a lot of screaming in her role as the girl who gets pulled into the cat kingdom.
Yeah.
I love that Tim Curry was the cat king. I just love it. Because he like plays the hey babe, how's it going? And like so great. Uh and then the one actor who was the original Frankenstein and also on Everybody Loves Raymond was Muta.
Yeah.
He was Muta. It's like, why are you calling me fat? No, no.
Hang on, I'm gonna see if the dog needs outside.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, hey, Kiki. Oh, she wandered away.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't move?
Yeah.
Ugh. Are you being a turd burglar? Maybe. Kind of the same thing happened to me with when I realized that Crispin Freeman voiced Winston in Overwatch. So I was
Right.
like, I can hear the voice now. Like, yeah, there's Crispin. Ooh.
Miss anything?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Mm.
Oh yeah. Let's hit. Oh, you did miss it, Kiki, because I showed.
Oh.
Guess who hasn't moved since I got up? Ugh.
Good boy, Ringo. Ringo's laying
Okay.
back down on his bed.
Very nice, very nice. I will be right back, switching over to a computer.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I'm gonna assume you haven't seen the Fallout TV show, Cupcake.
Nope, but I probably never will. Don't care. You can spoil whatever you want.
So, which TV show is this?
The Fallout one. It just came across my
Okay.
Facebook feed, so I was like, huh. It's really good!
I kind of liked. I started watching the first episode, but like, I kind of was like, eh. I know it's one of those things where it's like I have to let it unfurl to get my attention. But I was like, yeah, I'll just, when I get around to it, I'll get around to it.
I suppose you gotta let it percolate a bit. I probably blew through it because I was excited about it. I love the Fallout franchise. Except for 76. 76 can rot in hell. It's just a shitty game.
So basically, anything Bethesda made after they got acquired.
Was 4 before or after?
I thought it was before.
Okay.
I was just talking to Jen about this on her server, like how all the AAA franchises and companies basically are just bloated corpses at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I literally don't care about anything that EA makes, Ubisoft, like barring Nintendo because it's Nintendo. Like, we saw Eidos is selling off the rights to Tomb Raider and something else. I forget what the other big franchise was. I was just like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. They're making a Tomb Raider TV series. The last movie really sucked, so I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, I don't imagine it's going to be anything interesting. But I don't know. Again, I don't watch any of that because I don't have any time.
True. Although it was interesting. So the next, like, you know how Overwatch did a collaboration with Cowboy Bebop?
Mm-hmm.
The next collaboration that they're doing is with Transformers.
Oh, I think I saw that, yeah.
And then, like, I shared the trailer in a server, and one of my friends was like, that animation is sublime. For fuck's sake, Blizzard, put this level of effort into your canonical content. Another one of my friends pointed out it doesn't make them money if they do that.
Right.
And this first friend goes, yes, it does. Sell new lore books, have another archives event with lore skins in the shop, make new content that actually makes people want to play the effing game. Second friend, well, I'm not Blizzard, so who the fuck knows what's going on in their brain dead heads? Like,
But it's the same. It's the same that's going through all of corporate America. Spend as little money, but pump as much money out of your consumer base. Like, it costs money to do all of that, and they would rather not do that if they can get you to keep buying whatever subscriptions or loot boxes. I don't know how. I have no idea how.
Passes.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it with games like that where they don't cost anything. So you don't buy subscriptions. I don't know what you're spending money on.
Aesthetic stuff, access to... You buy the Game Pass, or whatever it's called, so that you can get access to stuff early, yeah, or without having to do the effort, play to win sort of deal. Pay to win, not play to win. You're supposed to play to win. It's a video game.
Right.
But yeah, I get your point.
I'm just saying, like, I'm living such a I don't. This isn't like a flex. It's like I'm living such an adult life that people are like, "Oh, that thing, that game," and I'm like, "Yeah, the game I'll never have a chance to play because I literally have no free time." They're like, that's not true. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. Don't fucking look me in the eye and tell me I have free time because I don't.
You do
I want to
not.
sleep. God damn it. This isn't any of you guys and like at work or talking about like we should play oh god, I always forget the name of it. That stupid Starship Troopers game. That's
Oh my
very
god,
rapidly.
it just left my head.
It's like a really obvious name too, and I never can remember it anymore.
Yeah, Mom?
Let's see here.
Okay.
Starship Troopers Extermination.
No,
No,
it's not Starship Troopers.
It's
It's
not
basically
actually a Starship game. It's...
Yeah, it's Super Earth, and they're not Tyranids. I got like multiple different science fiction, shit mixed up. Why can I not think of that?
No, it's not Lethal Company. That's the other one.
That's not what I wanted. I own it on fucking Steam. Hang on. Helldivers.
Helldivers!
Oh, yes, that one. Even I've heard about that. I don't play a lot of video games very often.
Nobody's playing it now, but everyone's talking about it at work. They're like, why don't you play? I'm like, with what free time? To put it in perspective, the people who are asking this generally play after 11:30 at night until about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Holy crap. That's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm looking at sales. No.
Buy all the things. Buy all the things.
Excuse me.
I hate that my life has just become a vicious cycle of complaining about being old and tired and just wanting a nap nonstop.
That's
Yeah,
just
that
really...
sucks.
Well, it's like I woke up got home from work at about 11, fell asleep about 1, woke up at 3 with my whole body aching, fell back asleep about, 6? And then got woken up by phone calls from work. And it's like, can I just have, that was 8 a.m., I think. I was like, well, people are calling me. There's no sense in going back to sleep because it's just going to keep happening all day, and it has been, as you've seen. I've had two messages come through just since we started recording.
Jeez. Is something happening, or is it just that happens?
The world can't live without me. It doesn't matter who it is. The world can't live without me. I can't not be involved in everything in my life. I am the final stop in all decisions. And it's just a teeny bit annoying when even on my days off I'm getting text messages from work. I'd be less pissy about it if I had gotten more than 4 hours of sleep in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
True.
And every motherfucker looks at me and goes, well, why don't you simply take a nap? I will throttle you with my mind. Well, just turn your phone off. It doesn't work like that. Well, why not? Because there are people in which I am the emergency contact. So? And I quote, so when somebody fucking dies, because I wasn't there to answer the phone. I want you to remember this. And then I got it. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I gotta be up early tomorrow because I gotta take my car in for service. Nothing
Alright.
wrong with it. I'm getting
Oh, okay.
the clear coat put on finally.
Oh,
They
okay.
finally. I I bought it at the beginning of June, and this was the earliest they could see me to get this done.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I gotta drive that out. I gotta drive that. I gotta drive the car, the SUV, out to the dealership for that at 8 a.m. So I have to be up by 6:30 because I have to be ready in time to drive it out there. Then catch a rental vehicle. Basically, they're gonna give me a rental vehicle to get me back to work. And then hopefully, I think I can drive the rental vehicle back out the same day and pick my car back.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this vacation.
I know mine's in 3 weeks. I can't wait. And everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. Leave me alone."
Sleeping.
Yeah, that's the bad
Hopefully.
part about it, where you say nothing, and then people are like, "Well, you can always hang out with me." No, 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 no. When I say I'm doing nothing, I say I'm doing nothing.
Oh, I mean, I'll be doing stuff. There's no way
Oh
around
yeah,
it. But it's, they're like, "Why aren't you going out of town?" Look, all I want is to rest. Vacation out of town is not rest for me because I have to figure all that shit out. Like, I don't know how to get across to people. Like, I'm the one that has to do all the planning if we're going on vacation somewhere. I'm the one that's make all the phone calls. I'm the one that has to make all the what am I looking for? Not organization. The appointments? No, that's not
itinerary.
right. Not even itinerary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one that has to figure out how we're getting to the airport. What time we have to do this, what time we have to do that. Getting the hotel reservations, just the logistics. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't. Keep me out of it. I don't want. Like, there's talk of going to Mexico next winter, and I'm like, nope, I'm good, thank you. Nope. You don't want to go to Mexico. All I want is to sleep. I don't want to get on a plane 12 hours anywhere. I just want to lay here in my bed and sleep. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to sit on any white sandy beaches. I just want to sleep. And it's sad. And I know it's sad, but it's the goddamn reality.
Yeah,
A vacation is not a vacation for me. I don't want to go to Disney World. I don't want to go to any national parks. I just want to sleep. Because traveling is work. And that's not what I want to do on my time off. We're like, oh, traveling's not work. It is when you're the one doing all the work to get you there. Well, you don't have to work when you're traveling. I don't want to sit on a plane for 4 to 12 hours going anywhere. I don't want to sit in the car and drive anywhere for that long. That's not relaxing for me. But it'll be relaxing when you get there. I don't want to go out of the country. I don't. I don't want to go to Mexico. I don't want to go to the Caribbean. I don't want to be on a cruise. I don't even want to go to Florida. I just want to be left alone. Just leave me alone. Go have fun. Go travel. Just leave me here in the dark where I'm happy. Even that's a fucking stretch these days. As you've seen by the 2 or 3 messages in the last hour or so, 2 hours, whatever.
yeah.
Oh God, more messages. Really? I don't
Oh, fudgesicles.
Okay.
Well, I kind of understand what Cupcake is saying,
Yeah.
because it's like I was the one who, because my one of my brothers suggested this trip for my mom's 70th birthday. I was the one who put everything together, keeping in mind everything my mom might bring up as a objection, and I tell her about it, and her immediate response, the first time I tell her about it, her immediate response is, no, it'll be too hot. And at that point, I was like, internally, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm never planning a trip like this ever again. Never. Because I put together a well-drafted email. I was like, hey, we got an idea. Hey, everybody, we got an idea for going on a family trip next year. Here we go. And like a long-ass email putting everything together.
Right.
And she says no. Just did not ask questions. Did not say, oh, you know how I am in the heat. And didn't even think that I would know how she is with the heat.
Well,
And
I mean,
take
at
that
least she
into
was upfront
consideration.
with you about it.
Yeah,
She could have
at
waited
least she
until
was
you had it
that.
all planned out and been like, you know what? I'm not going. Kiss my ass. Instead, she's just
Well,
like, I don't want to do it. Cool. All right.
like my younger brother said, because he had to put it. He works at a firehouse. He had to put in for his vacation like 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going, whether she's coming or not. We're going. And
Yeah.
but my brother was like, she's coming. Oh, she's coming. Like I had to put it. I already put in for my vacation for that week. Like there's no turning back. We're going.
Well, see, the difference here is like, I've told them, like, go have fun. I hope you guys have fun in Mexico. I'm just not interested. I don't want to go. Like, my mom brought it up to me. She's like, well, next January you could go to Mexico with us. I'm like, no, I'm good. It's like, what? I'm like, I don't want to go to Mexico. Do I want to go to Mexico? Yeah, sure. It seems like it would be fun. Like, go to a resort, be a bum. Like, I'm not against that. But it just, everything getting there and getting back and all the fucking logistics, I'm so fucking tired. I don't even want to think about having to plan that. Because if I say I'm going, I'm the one planning it.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's going to have to get the tickets, make all the stuff, figure out I don't want to do that. I don't. Whereas, like, you're doing that. Whereas, like, if they came to me like, hey, it's going to be this much, do you want to go? I'd still probably be like, no, just have fun. I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
Which in itself is its own vacation, because then I have the house to myself. What changes? Nothing. Oh, so how's that a vacation? Well, see, you're going to be in Mexico, which means that's one less person I have to worry about getting phone calls about. Put my phone on mute, and if you call, it'll ring. Otherwise, it's not going to ring for anybody. I'll be sleeping. The entire week? The entire fucking week. Not all at once. Sorry, continue.
I might be going camping the end of this month. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided.
Oh, you
whether
and your
I wanna
summer
go.
camping trips. You'll come back looking like a giant zit because the bugs will have tried to eat you alive.
They haven't even stated where we're going, so I'm like, how can I say yes yet?
We're going to Utah.
We did that already. No thanks.
You can do it again. What's the worst that could happen? Mormon attacks? Ah, you'll be fine.
We brought back COVID.
So? That's what you get. Going to strange new places and licking doorknobs.
I am not a doorknob licker.
I thought you were going to say I'm not a doorknob. I was going to be like, who the fuck was licking you? What the hell?
Well, that would be hubby's job.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, that's Mr. Tiki's
Giggity.
job. And that would still mean that she is not the doorknob licker.
So many jokes. Anyway.
Har
Interchangeably
har.
use doorknob and handrail, but yeah, same difference.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry your mom's being a butt about that, Mish. But at least she was upfront about not wanting to go, so it's just like, okay, cool, have fun.
Well, then she got talked. She got talked around to it by my brothers because I told them like, oh, mom said no, so
She's gonna stay home. We're going.
yeah. But again, like that and the comments she was making earlier this year just really hammered home. She does not know who I am because it's like, Mom, I've known you for almost 40 years. And you think I wouldn't take into account you? This is a family vacation. I'm going to think about everybody because that's who I am. But, that's a whole nother.
Oh,
Yeah.
a kettle of fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they being woken from a dead sleep by phone calls this morning definitely was the. I wouldn't call it crying, but the bemoaning as I laid there in bed and my phone ringing. I'm going, are you fucking kidding me right now? I have been asleep for less than 2 hours. And I'm like, yes, we have a problem. I worked that out. The phone is ringing. What's the problem? Well, what are we doing with this? I don't know. What are we doing with this? All right, I'll get back to you. Click. Well, I'm not going back to bed now. Those are just going to keep coming. And they have.
I'm so sorry, Cupcake.
It's fine. I know I shouldn't complain, but I'm slowly going crazy. And every passing month of this happening over and over again is pushing me farther and farther down the rabbit hole.
Pardon.
And I'm fine, and everything's going to be fine, but I'm just getting crankier and crankier and crankier.
Until it becomes the old man from Up.
Dude, I'm already that dude, and the guy from Gran Torino, and every other old man stereotype you've ever. It's just I don't sleep good, and the times when no one would bother me, I can't sleep, and the times where I feel like I could sleep, everyone and their mother finds that to be literally. I haven't heard from some of my friends in weeks, and I've been available over and over again. Not a fucking word spoken. And then as soon as I have a day like this where I really just need sleep, I need to rest, now my phone won't stop goddamn ringing. It's like some sort of fucking twisted turn of fate. It always seems to happen when I'm exhausted and I have a free day that the phone won't stop ringing. And I appreciate my friends. It's not like, it's just, where the fuck were you for the last 2.5 weeks that you picked today as the day? It's not on purpose, it's coincidental, but I'm losing my fucking marbles!
And my hand is having the kind of allergic, itchy reaction. And so I'm sitting here going, what the fuck did I touch? So it always happens like this, where I'm like, I touch something, and then I start getting an allergic reaction, itching and red, and I'm like, what did I touch that is making my hand itchy and red?
The
So
universe.
we'd like to not touch it. Or it's like, well, what did I eat? Oh yes, I know it's feeding the corporate monster that is Blizzard. But I had to get it was a package deal. So it is the kaiju bundle for Roadhog and Zenyatta. So Roadhog, thank you for calling.
So
Okay.
Roadhog, thank you for calling. Click. Sorry, I just thought that was funny.
It is funny. What to have for lunch?
Food, hopefully, because rocks would be real hard to digest.
That is a valid point. Very valid.
I had a toasted peanut butter sandwich that was left of my salt and vinegar potato chips.
Ooh, I have
Jar.
fries. I can make fries and have a sandwich.
I had four hash brown patties for breakfast because after getting woken up, I was just like, fuck eating healthy today. I'm just gonna eat crap. So I did. I mean, like, in reality, hash brown patties aren't horrible for you,
No.
but still just kind of like, meh. I'm not gonna even, like, I was gonna do yogurt and granola. I'm like, I'm doing something deep fried. And the fact that I'm sure my mom's gonna text me here in any minute and be like, "Are you coming to grandma's for dinner?" And I'm gonna be like, "Son of a bitch, there goes the afternoon nap."
No.
I did get to play for the first time in a month. I got to play a little bit of Paper Mario, which was nice. But now I probably won't get back to it again for a while because, again, busier than shit. Tomorrow I'm right back to work for what I think I have an 8-hour shift tomorrow, a 10-hour shift on Thursday, and an 8-hour shift on Friday. I have the weekend off, maybe. Everything goes my way. Don't believe we have any major events this weekend, but if we do, they might be ass because I think I'm gonna sleep this weekend. Or rest at least.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Like I was saying, it's because it's kind of going with the the latest thing. Let me pull this up. Oh, it has the update. Never mind. Let me go to another server. So Zenyatta looks like he's wearing a onesie, and Roadhog actually looks like he is the monster himself. So there is Roadhog.
Nope, I have a bunch of messages.
And then go back to here. And there's Zenyatta. So you can kind of tell, like, Zenyatta looks like he's wearing, like, one of those, like, cow onesies or something.
Oh, Kigurumi?
Yeah, something like that. But in the actual game, that says that is the kaiju skin.
Right.
So right now, that's what I have equipped for Zenyatta, and I love it. So when we're in a game, it's like, oh my god, are you a dinosaur? I'm like, yes, Godzilla. I was like, I love this. It's one of my favorite skins next to the Bathmaster skin. It's great. I was like, did someone ping me? I'm like, oh yeah, here we go.
Woo!
I'm like, the fandom will know what water sports is.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Because they went opposition equals X, water sports equals P. I'm like, we all know what those two words mean. But I understand why, like, if you want to put an explanation, that's okay. Like,
I wonder. No. No, that probably would quit it. No. Shit. Sorry. I was trying to figure out if I could fill a kiddie pool with ice and then just lay on top of it.
you could.
But it would only last a short while.
True.
For that short while would be nice.
It actually wouldn't be too bad because it would just be cold water, which I could still sleep in with no serious issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just hate this summer because I'm.
Stuff, baby, tonight. Sorry.
I am verifiably a polar bear. I like at least cool weather. I like cold weather better than I like warm weather. And this time of the year is just so bad for trying to sleep in general over my already bad sleeping habits because it's so fucking hot. Also, the fact that the house is kept at a balmy 76 to 78 degrees at all times.
Damn. We keep ours at like 70 to 72. God damn.
And my mom gets cold. I mean, to put it in perspective, my car is currently set at 72, I want to say. I had it 70, but it was getting a little too cold at night when I would come out of work.
Mm-hmm.
Food. Uh, oh yeah, for some reason I got reminded. As I think I told you guys this last year when we came back from Singapore, but because our plane to San Francisco was late, I think we went. I think it was San Francisco. To California was late. We got our flight to South Korea in Seoul. Seoul, South Korea. It got delayed. We got there, and we had to go through like another like little TSA kind of thing.
Yeah, customs, but not full customs
yeah.
because you're not
Yeah,
leaving the airport.
Yeah. And then we had to like power walk across the airport. Like we were literally Mr. Mish and I were literally the last two people on that plane from South Korea to Singapore. So our luggage got left behind. Now, thankfully, we each had a backpack carry-on that had a change of clothes in there, like new underwear, new shirt, etc. So, but I had just packed a shirt. I was wearing my black, like spandex type leggings.
Yeah.
And had packed a black shirt because I wasn't thinking. I was like, oh yeah, our luggage will come with us. Well, it did. It just showed up to us we got it the next day. But so next day we like showered and everything. And so I'm walking around an equatorial country in May in all black. I was like,
Jeez.
I'm hot. I'm hot. And it was covered from like, it was a regular like t-shirt kind of shirt. Like a fancier t-shirt, but it's still a t-shirt. So like basically from like around my collarbones down to just above my ankles. Like my arms were free and my feet were free, but I was wearing shoes. So I was like, it's hot here. It's hot. But thankfully, like we got back that afternoon and like literally I got back to the hotel room and took off everything but our underwear and we're like, oh. And then I was going to the bathroom and they had a bathroom phone, fancy. So I pick up. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Mish's name. We have your because we had let them know like the airport's gonna deliver the luggage. We have your luggage. Okay, thank you. Click. Mr. Mish, put on your clothes, please. They're bringing up our luggage. So, thankfully, like we got there Saturday night, and by Sunday the next day, because at first we thought it was gonna be there at like dinner time, but they got it to us like around 2 or 3 o'clock, and we're like, thank God.
Right.
So that was very nice. We're like, oh, hallelujah. Okay, so what was I doing?
I have no idea.
I had to.
Oh, it's only 100 today. Oh, how nice.
Only 100. It is currently A balmy 83.
Yeah, I was 83 here too. I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick up my phone. I'm like, I can look up my watch. That's right. I have the temperature on my watch face. Stupid friggin'. I hate when it does this. Thank you.
I gotta watch Sandman still. Now that there's going to be a season 2.
Me too, but I'm like, I just can't bring myself to watch it yet. I'm just like, I'll get to it.
I have, because every streaming website lets you do a 2-watch list now. They're just full of crap that I might get around to. If I'm not so busy with YouTube. There's just so much content out there. So much.
Oh, dude, it's outrageous. Also, all of these fucking channels gonna stop releasing like multi-hour videos. I'm not just talking about like VODs. I mean like actual like here's a 2-hour video on the Enterprise G. It's like, oh god, what?
Oh, I know my friend's really gonna like this artwork. Sorry, I'm also looking at. I swear, like, I cannot believe I never thought that I may have some sort of neurospiciness because I'm doing like 4 or 5 things at once. And I'm just like, oh. Found out that I usually have the T-Rex arms that are spoken about with ADHD and or neurospiciness. Or if my arms hang at my sides, it feels really awkward, so they have to be in my pockets, or my hands have to be holding each other or holding something to be comfortable. I'm like, hey, T-Rex arms.
That's like an anxiety issue.
No, that tracks for my personality.
Like, not a doctor.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that sounds like an anxiety issue. I do that too. Like, I don't know where... That and the boobs are in the way when I put my arms down by my side. But, it's like, what are they doing? They should be doing something. Let's put them in pockets so I'm not doing something. Or behind my back. Because if I let them go, they're going to fiddle, 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 because I'm anxious. Because I'm just standing here. That's why I usually have a phone in my hand. I'm reading the goddamn bloody news, because it's something to do.
Yeah, even though sometimes I feel like it's like the news is like, oh, here's your flavor of America's dumpster fire of the day.
Dumpster fire.
You know?
And I'm still waiting on the loan packet for my car. I'm gonna have to probably call them sometime this week and see why it didn't come. Like, I got the loan paperwork, but I'm saying that the thing to get payments going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want belly works? Nobody can see you past my giant tits.
Titties. Always fun.
Boy. Want belly rubs?
Say yes, human.
Belly, 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 belly. Who's my naughty boy? Oh, who's my naughty boy? Oh, he's opening the fucking fridge.
Taz and Cupcake being like...
What?
The old man of the server. Sorry. What? So Taz just responded to you in your server, sorry. But that's life, I guess. I'm like, well, that sounds like cupcake. Sometimes.
Oh, but that's life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I've been rewatching the one Chinese period drama.
Of
that I like.
course.
Of course. I may switch over to the other one that I also watched. I'm not quite sure. Oh yes, I finished up the two of the three pics I was working on for one of the designs and put them in the submission folder.
That's good.
So that's done. I'm working on the third one, and I'm also betaing something for someone because they have English as a second language. So they're like, does the flow sound good? So I'm like putting everything in red. I'm like, can I? Because they said it to me without editing rights. I may start reading and caught a grammar within the first paragraph, caught one spelling mistake, and like, well, not spelling mistake, but it's a word. It's like, you know how two words sound the same, but they're two different words?
Yeah.
Something like
Oh,
that.
homonyms?
Yeah. Let me see.
I think that's what they're called, right? Or are those synonyms?
So it was, what was the original one? Crap, I have to go back. Hold on a second. It was Oblivion. Second one, and here's the first one.
Mish, who had to teach me the spelling for the word weather, as in whether or not.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously,
okay.
for years no one could tell me what the fucking spelling was.
Oh my god.
I spelled it like the weather outside for years, and no one said a word. And to this day, I still laugh about that because I spelled it wither, weather, mirror.
Okay, so actually I was wrong. It's a similar word. So they said colorful, the first portion was colorful decorations adored the passage above.
Oh, instead of adored?
Yeah. So they missed a letter. One letter. And I was like, can I have editing capabilities right away, please? Because I know my brain. I want to edit as I read. Thank you.
The amount of where and were that were mistyped. And then trying to figure out what the person meant, because where and where could theoretically both work in sentences.
Yeah.
Or through and through. Or through and though.
Yeah.
There, and there. Two, and two. Oh my god, trying to teach people the use of TOOO is like one of the weirdest things I've ever had to do. Like, that's a real word? I'm like, yes, it's a real word. What do you use it for? Like, ha! Is that what TO is? I'm like, no. Yes, but no.
It's like TO is you are going someplace. Going
It's a verb
somewhere.
versus an adjective. What? It's a verb versus an adjective. What? Don't! Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Everyone below the age of 30 is like, the fuck is he speaking? The old magic, leave me alone!
Well, it was funny because I told someone, Cupcake, about how you told me that you learned more about grammar and spelling from me than school.
Yes! You are the person who taught me English mechanics. 15, 20 years of English instruction, nobody could get it across to me. You did it like in 6 months. Mind you, I'm still not great, but like, I went from god-awful to understandable in the span of like knowing you.
Yeah, like I remember there was one time in one of our role plays where you said something about he had the gall to say something. The way you spell gall, I was like staring at my screen going, what the fuck is that word? What am I looking at?
Was it? Did I do Did I do GALL? GAUL?
It's something like that. GAUL, something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, context clues. What is he saying? I got
Oh no, I think I spelled it like squall, but with a G.
I think so. I
It was like GQUAELL or something. You're like, what the fuck?
what am I looking at? What is that word? I've never seen that word before in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying gall. And then you have me who knows certain spelling, like, and I understand certain like American English and British English spellings are easy to remember, like
right.
switching of the R and E in certain words and adding the U and other words. But also knowing that in older forms of English, jail is spelled differently than Americans spell it, and I learned that through a book.
You having to back me up on botan being a real English word.
What being it?
Botan. Like the past tense of bot. BOUGHTEN. Like it was store botan.
Store bought.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
today we would say it was store bought. Like I bought the thing.
Yeah.
It was bought. But like up until the 1970s, I think it's 1970s, the word botan was the past tense of bot. Like it was botan. Where I would just say it was bot. And like you and I digging it up because everyone's like, that's not a real word. I'm like, it is 100% a real fucking word. And having to show people that botan was an actual English word just fell out of regular use. It's still my favorite, like, what the fuck? Word.
Yeah.
And the only reason... Oh, sorry.
But, like, so jail in British English is... I'm not sure if this is common anymore, but it was spelled GAOL. Jail. But then it morphed, at least in America, to JAIL. But again, the J's and the G's can sometimes have very similar sounds with that. So it's not very surprising that the J sound is a G and a J. And also, I remember Cupcake were having a conversation about Harry Potter. And they were like, yeah, basilisks are snakes. I'm like, no, they're not. Technically, they're like a chicken hybrid or rooster hybrid. But I was like, no, they're not. Like 98% of the time, you think you basilisk and it's a lizard type. It's like a lizard chicken.
Yeah, I was mixing up a basilisk and a the chicken that turns you to stone. I can't think of the fuck it's called. I mixed up basilisk. Is it really a basilisk? I thought that was something else.
Let's see here. It's a legendary basilisk in European-based series and legends. A basilisk is a legendary reptile reputed to be a serpent king who causes death to those who look like it.
I was thinking of a cockatrice.
Yeah, cockatrice. So a cockatrice is the opposite of the a basilisk. So the basilisk is alleged to be hatched by a cockerel from the egg of a serpent or toad.
Yeah.
Like a serpent or toad egg. The reverse of the cockatrice. So if you want a basilisk, you take a chicken.
Lizard's egg. Yeah.
Chicken egg or you take
a lizard's egg and have it hatched by a chicken. You get a cockatrice if you do it the other way around.
Yes. And so yeah. So but me, I was like, dude, no, you're wrong.
Right.
Just having like, I'm like, I can see where, like, and then that gets into the whole thing of speaking about how many different types of dragons there are, because there
Right.
are legless and wingless dragons.
Right.
One of which is Yormonger, the world serpent.
Right.
There are feather dragons, there are scaly dragons. So it just depends on what kind of dragon you're talking about.
Right.
Because sometimes you have to be like, sometimes I'll be silly and I'll be like, no, Game of Thrones dragons are wyverns. They're not dragons, but technically they're a dragon subclass. So calling them dragons is technically correct because there are no other dragons in that universe to compare them to. So technically, yes, they're dragons. They're just a specific subclass of dragon.
Right.
My nose.
Okay, guys.
What?
It's a little after 1. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say they're talking about the history of how the two got interchanged. Basilisk and the weasel. The cockatrice picture became seen synonymous with the basilisk, while the basilisk of blah 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 was translated as cockatrice, like in the 12 and 1300s, which is where all the confusion comes from. Anyway, that's it. That's all I was gonna say.
Okay.
Okay, very nice pun with y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for podding with me.
Of
Rada
course.
rada.
Rada
Rada,
rada.
rada, rada.
Rada 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 rada. Alright. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.